Okay, we can start off by, if you have any question. Yes.
Sometimes in our ministry, we help people when they're with them. We do a specialized session, and they have a lot of momentum. But you have 1, 2, 3 times, and sometimes after you leave, they kind of something comes along and they go back down, and they're back at baseline, and they feel down.
Yeah.
What do you do then?
I think that's common for human being. Okay. We're in the flesh. Okay. But I think another issue is I think we make people depend on us. That was really like our church before. We make people. And then I complain about it when I feel like, see, if I leave them, then they'll go back to their old self again. And I think I was talking to John. John mentioned, one of the things that he got out of the video is you got to believe. One of the biggest challenge for me is, do I really believe that people really want to grow, want to do great things for God? It's difficult for me because my mindset before was like, no, I think I got to keep reminding, keep following up on them. I myself did not believe that, So, of course, following up on people are important. But the way we did the follow-up, that was wrong. Let me give you an example. The way Solution Focus do the follow-up. The second session, I never ask people, did you do that? Did you do your homework? I did not ask that. So the follow-up question is, what has been better? So tell me, what has been better? And people will tell me what has been better because that's what I want to know. And many times people come back, they did not really mention. He said, what has been better? Actually, we spent more time, we do this, and actually they take a different direction. But it has been better for them. Okay? So what has been better is a very, very good question to us for the follow-up session. And that really helps my relationship with the people that I disciple. It really helps the way I work with small groups. It really helps. Okay? Hope that answers your question. Yes? Yeah.
I was going to say that I think this is super profound in that we should really put this into practice as a congregation, but I feel like there needs to be some kind of practice or reinforcement or something. So, what is the next step? I don't know if that's a very question. Like what is the next step? How do you put this into practice?
We start applying for ourselves first. I have to apply to my own self, and then we apply it to our marriage and our daughters. That improve our family tremendously. Let me give you an example. One of the things that we learn is a resource gossip. That's the only gossip allowed.
It's biblical.
It's biblical gossip. That's the only gossip allowed. Okay, let me explain to that. We call it resource gossip. That's the way, the language they use, resource gossip. So we gossip, but we gossip about the resources.
The good things.
For example, I have my 2 daughters. I used to go and encourage my daughters that, wow, it's so great to see you, diligent and all that. With the teenagers, even though they like it, but they will discount it when I say it directly to them.
They don't believe it.
So, but when I gossip it with my wife, knowing that they are there listening to us.
As if they're not there.
As if they're not there, but they're there. They're listening. For example, I'll talk about, you know what
so
Tasha
impressed.
did? I was so impressed. And my daughter's like, they just love it, So that's what we call resource gossip, okay? But what we talk about is the resources.
Yeah.
That my daughters have, and that really encouraged them. We have couple, for example, that come and meet with us. They fight. Yes. They fight, keep fighting in front of us.
Very negative.
Very negative. You can see negative. And then I will start looking at Vania, and Vania will look at me, and we start do this resource gossip. We're like,
wow, I'm very impressed that even though so discouraged, they still make their time and come and meet us.
Yeah, I know it's so difficult for them, but somehow I feel like they still love each other. They want to make it happen. When you start talking like this, you start seeing these couples start.
Shock.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
People need to hear sincerely, but their resources. I don't say they have good marriage, but they have effort
Yeah.
to just come and meet with us. When you say these things,
They're like,
listen.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing,
The fact that
okay?
we still come and, come and meet them together. Yeah, that's,
So that's the first thing we apply to our own self, and then after that, in Jakarta we start helping out our staff basically. So you can ask Randy and Kay about it, in terms of the church,
Yeah.
but we feel like it helps us. We shared it with the staff. I remember a week after that, the staff came
Good
back to the
news.
staff meeting. We had good news, like 3 hours non-stop, and what they shared is how they applied that to their family and how they applied it to the difficult cases that they found. They have been trying for months or for years,
Yeah.
and they got a very good response out of it. So
and I think a lot of us, we are so affected when we are dealing with a negative situation. We get pulled. Our energy gets sucked. So we need to get ourselves out of it. And sometimes a tweak in a situation, actually, just like what David say, like, if you have the right perspective, then you have the right angle, you have different vision. When you have different vision, your mind will believe it, that reality and perception, they actually support each other. So I think sometimes when you ask how do we apply it in the church, I would say if one person started applying it and we notice the changes, I think it will create a very positive impact to the rest. And now, I think in the Jakarta church, we try as much as possible. The truth is, being a disciple, we want to help people see God's power in their life, in their situation. And sometimes when we don't have faith, we can't see God's working. I love the verse in Philippians 4 that we read earlier, whatever is beautiful, whatever is praiseworthy, focus on that.
yes,
Well, I don't have an answer for what was asked, but I would like to just address it because even applying what we've learned today to that whole situation, we're not going to be perfect in
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
In what you've taught, but we want to practice it.
Yes.
I want to take it from a 4 to a 5.
Yes.
So
Seriously.
I guess that's my answer to that is that
Seriously.
you do need to apply it and practice
Yes.
it and to, like perfection number 10 would be, we're all perfect at that. And,
Yeah.
and yet
And
I've
we-
got to look through, okay,
Yeah.
what would the church look like and how do I get there? And what are my resources and what are all your other little words? Just
Yeah.
how do I apply it a little bit at a time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have practiced this almost 10 years, and we're still practicing.
Still.
That's why, some people are like, how did you come up with the question? I said, when you practice it, it became natural.
Yeah. Okay. That's a very good answer. Yes.
Often when you get with people, like you're trying to help, or your kids, you feel like you need to use the Bible, bring up the scriptures, and
Yeah.
I've heard you talk about using the scriptures much so far.
We did.
How do you apply the scriptures when you're counseling those?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, by using these tools, we're able to study the Bible with so many people. I think firstly because people feel respected by us, and then we're able to share with them how our God is a God of hope. I love it. When we link it to that, it's amazing.
Yep.
To see how, and we start out seeking God's study right away, by saying, you know what, no matter how broken our relationship is, this is God. This is what God promised to us. And we're able to get a lot of people study Bible because
Yeah.
of that, personally.
Yeah.
So, again, this is just tools. This is not God. This is not the truth. This is just a tool. So I think you have to understand, you have to be able to differentiate. This is just a tool for us to be able to use. Yeah? Okay.
I want to ask a follow-up question on that because I think that is a good question. Has this changed how you study?
Of course.
Like when you approach the
Totally.
study series or whatever, and can you give us maybe an example?
Totally.
Yes.
How it's
Yeah.
changed?
Yes. Okay. I'll share. From my personal Bible study with people, now I think we set up the goal very clear since the very beginning. For example, in the past, it's more like me wanting them to become disciple. And when they don't really have quiet time after we study the word study, I will not be that fired up, and then I will start thinking maybe this guy is not that open. That was what happened to me in the past. So, but how the solution focus changed me is, now I want to see, I asked them, what do you want to see happening in our time together? It's amazing because people usually will not, their goal is not to study the Bible. Their goal is to really get their marriage, their communication to get fixed, basically, okay? So we started from there. And then after for a few months, I asked them again. I said, now your communication is better. What else do you want to see happening? And of course, you have to be able to give them perspective. This is what I tell people. Your communication get better because of the action that you decided. That's why you get better. But let me tell you, in my experience, it won't last.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know something that will help you, help your marriage to be lasting? That's when I start introducing Bible. But when we put into practice, I try to put into practice as purely as possible. Put into practice the solution focus as purely as possible in order to train me to be able to think, to be able to ask the right questions. But today, it's so easy to just bring the Bible, ask the right question, even like in terms of studying the Bible, people ask them the right questions. Okay, from setting up the goal, okay? And then, for example, let's say they already know the seeking God verse, okay? Just give example, Jeremiah 29. After that, I'll ask them. After I ask the what questions, after they know that, I said, why? I can ask the why questions when you study the Bible, because I want people to understand why. Why do you need to seek God first? Mm-hmm. Then after that, I ask the how question. How will your life be different by having the right priority now? How will your life be different? How will you notice that you start seeking God first?
Who will notice?
Who will notice? Suppose we have a next study next week. How will you know that you already move up 1 point higher? What needs to happen so that your priority will move from 4 to 5?
With God. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can apply that. Does that answer your question?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
All right.
and we also had actually, I personally have changed the way I count the cost with teenagers, because I think in the past my counting the cost question was very much like, what do you need? It was more like, how, what happened if you are weak, right? Most of the time, what will you do to, when you struggle with your sin, what will you do? But now we have changed it to where, like, usually teenagers, when they are excited about God, when they want to get baptized, they dream big. So we tap on their dream and bring them to the small steps they can do to achieve that dream for God. So the question becomes different. Instead of like, what's your sinful nature? Well, you want to stay pure. What do you need to do to stay pure? Instead of, your sinful nature is lustful thoughts or pornography, we actually bring them to set their energy to build the small steps into making sure that they stay pure.
All right. All right. Other question? Yes. Okay.
Kan sebenarnya ada.
I think you have it here, right?
I had it on the last page. How to treat yourself in a solution-focused manner.
Okay. You can read this when you go back. It's because of the time issue. So I think we just want to give you the principle, give you the big picture, have you exercise a bit, and if you have questions, we'd like to answer that. But I would like to close out by having us exercise this. Okay? So the way we're going to do it is, since we don't have the chairs that can be moved, I mean, we have to accept whatever, okay?
You just have to use
we just have to find solution for that. I usually would like to make two circles, the inner circles and outer circles, and they will face each other. Okay, and the first person that meet each other, they will ask the questions that I'll be showing. And after that, we'll do a rotate, so the second person that in front of you will be a different person, different partner. And the last questions that I will pose here, you have to make sure that you will go back to the first partners that you have. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let's say the first one is Kay and Randy. After that, the second question, third question, I'll keep changing partners. Then the last questions, Randy and Kay has to be the same again. Do you understand this? Okay. So we can do this with this situation, but I need you to start with the person right next to you. Okay? And after that, I will change partners. Then after that, you'll go back to the first one. So you have to remember the first partner that you have. Is it okay? Yeah. We're going to do this exercise really quick. And hopefully you could get the sense of the whole thing. All right. Okay. Now think of the case. Any case that you try to help out or your own case. Okay? Think of that person or any case. When I did this exercise the first time, I think of difficult case. Okay? Now you don't have to start out with very difficult case because this is only the exercise. All right? So, but start with anyone that probably you disciple that you feel like has been a problem, okay, or any issue, and you try to imagine and try to role play as that person. Okay? Role play as that person. Right? So let's say Randy, let me give example. Randy has someone that he's trying to help out for months. Maybe a bit stuck or whatever. Now Kay gonna be the counselor, solution focused counselor today. And he's gonna help out Randy. But Randy has to role play as that person that he's thinking of. So this is gonna be like real case, but you role play because you know that person. Okay. Is it okay? Yeah. All right. That's the way we train ourselves. I have my staff or any brothers sisters. Okay, that you have problem with that person. Okay, can you role play that brother? And I'm gonna ask you these questions. That's the way you do it. Okay. So we start from this one, the first one. Can you do it? Yeah. Okay. You understand? All right. So ask the person these questions. You have to decide who is the counselor first, and then we take turn later, okay? You have to put on counselor hat. The other one is your client, okay? only these questions. Only one question. The counselor will ask the client. The client has to role play. And that's it. And yes, only one question, but you got to keep asking what else, what else. Okay? Try to get it. If you finish, you can switch now. The client become counselor, the counselor become client.
Somebody else?
Yes, so any case, you can role play as a client. Still with the same partner, yeah? But just switch the role. Okay, you finish? You need more time? You okay? All right. Now, more time. Okay, 1 more minute. Okay. Okay? Okay. Shh. This is just exercise. Now, pay attention carefully. We're going to do a switch now. The person, okay, the person sit on your left is the one has to move. Just move one chair and you basically take a place of the person that also moved to the other chairs. You understand? Okay. So, only the person on the left hand side. Yeah. Yes. Just switch with the person on the left hand side. Yeah. You go to the left. You go to the left. Okay. Shh. Pay attention. The one on the right hand side, you don't move. Only your partner that sit next to you, the one that moved to the left. So go to the left. Or you have to go to the back probably. If you are, yes. So you go the other side, yes. All right? Okay. Just make sure the person is not the same anymore. It's not the same, right? Okay. All right. Anyone that have the same partner still? No? Okay, now let's move to the second one. You ask this question. Okay? The person in front of you now, they don't know the answer of the first one. Okay? So just answer this question. They don't need to know what they talk about. Okay? Just continue asking this question. And then ask what else, okay? If you finish, you can change the role, switch it, yeah? Now you can switch. Were you the client before? Now you change, you are the counselor. Yeah. Okay. 1 more minute. Okay. Now the person on the right hand side, you stand up and you have to move to the right. The person on the right hand side, you stand up, you move to the right. The person in front of you now, your partner is a new one, right? Okay. 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 But John. But you have kids. Okay. All right. Now you still role play the same person, okay? Okay. Now ask this question. The person in front of you now has to be the new one, right? Okay. Let's continue with the third question. Just do the one is a counselor, another one is a client. Just do that role again. Yes. Have you done the second question? Yeah, switch. If you finish, switch. You guys are very fast. So sharp. Switch, yeah. Remember to ask the second question as well, yeah? After you finish, you can switch. If you finish, you can switch, yeah? Okay. No, not yet. One more. Okay? You finish? All right. Now let's switch the left one. You stand up. You gotta move to the left. Your left. Yeah. The left one move to the left. Yes. It has to be different person again. Different, right? Totally different. Okay, good. Just find whoever as long as it's different. Yes. All right, you can start. You can start asking this question now. You can switch if you finish. Just ask what else. Stick to that. What else? Huh? Yeah, watching. Yeah. What else is? I know. We can confuse. Right. Just ask what else. Very good. Okay, finish? Okay. You finish? Need more time? Need more time? Or finish? Okay. This is the last one. Now you go back to the first partner. Okay? Just make sure you go back to your first partner. Okay? So now start asking this question. It's different. This is a confident scale. This is a different scaling, but confident scale. Okay? Okay, you can switch. Okay? Okay, one more minute. Have you switched? Okay. Okay, finish. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Let me ask you. What do you get out of this? What do you learn out of this exercise?
We don't need to know the process.
You don't have to go to 10 overnight.
You don't have to go to 10 overnight. Yes. Good? Yeah?
I actually felt like it was really hard to do the what else question without feeling like I'm just repeating myself.
Exactly.
Making the person irritated.
Thank you for being honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I thought the same thing as well, but when you ask what else, of course not. What else? What else? You know? Actually, people feel like you really want to listen. You want to draw things out of them. Okay? So, yes.
How to not naturally try to solve other people's problems.
Exactly.
Okay? All right? There's a temptation, huh? Want to just give them the answer. Okay? Yes?
That possibility is the cure. That if everything is possible, then you can move past it.
Okay. How about we keep changing people, right? So what do you learn out of it?
Different perspective.
How do you find a different perspective? Did the person give you perspective?
No, I think it just gives me confidence that my problem is not the worst.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And there's solution. I'm not stuck.
Okay. All right.
So I didn't have to know what the problem is. Yeah. I was like, okay, you want to do that?
Okay. Actually, when you switch partners, you don't even know what they talk about, and you don't need to know. You just need to ask the right questions. When you ask the right question, you move people forward. I don't need to know. In fact, I can come in and just ask the right question without knowing people's problem, and they can move forward. Yes.
I'm healed. It was good.
You're healed. Okay, good, good. All right, yes.
When the what else questions would come, it would cause the individual or yourself to really think and process and go deeper, and you had to navigate, that individual had to navigate
Yes.
the situation or their actions or responsibilities or whatever. They had to process through the situation.
Yes, yes. That's true. And you know what? When I role play a brother that I try to help out, I realize there's so many other possibilities that I have not even looked into.
Yeah.
Because when I role play that, when the question is being asked, I was like, oh, I didn't see that in that brother. And that helps me to go back and repair. Okay? So, yes, what else?
See how, you're not burdened by
Yeah. I enjoy this exercise. I just standing here looking at you guys. I'm so excited about it. When we did it in Africa and other places, we have leaders that come up with so much burden. We only have like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And basically I put them in circles, 2 circles, inner and outer circles, keep changing. I have 5 or 6 questions. And right after that, I said, okay, what do you guys think? They said, oh, we know how to solve that already. They're probably 50 leaders. 50 leaders in Africa, they get together. Bro, we know that. I said, great. I don't even know what they're talking about, right? And I don't need to know. But they asked the right question to each other based on whatever we put on. And the person could move on. They know exactly what they want to do after that. Okay? Yes.
It's really hard not to focus on that number, the scale thing, and not be like, well, why isn't it higher? Just reprogramming your mind to say, oh, it could be lower. Like, why isn't it lower? Like, that was really hard.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
I was role playing, and I think for me it was what I found out was what I think that what I'm trying to do to help the person, I don't think might be what is actually helping the person, which could be contributing to the problem.
Yes.
Because when people were saying, oh, what else? And I was like, oh, so it did, like she was saying, it made me think deeper. And like, okay, but if this happened, then what? Then what? Then what else? And so I think it really helps me see that what I think, will help them is that's not the core, that's not what they need to help them. It's this other thing over here that I didn't consider. that's actually what's going to encourage them to, have victories, that will encourage them to, have an upward spiral.
Yes. And I find this a lot in our churches. That a lot of disciples don't even think for themselves.
Yep, that's the point.
And when you ask the what else, it's like the first time they start thinking, you know what? and it's amazing. And in fact, I have to let other people do that to me. And that really helps me.
Yeah.
That really helps me to be able to see things that I myself didn't take time to think about it or to process it.
Yeah.
All right? Yes.
The exercise, of course, was based upon moving you from situation to situation where you don't know what the disease was, or what's the problem, or even the level that they were in. However, I would guess that when you are doing the real counseling, one-to-one, we're going to be able to focus on what's going to be in terms of asking the right question that's going to drive you to the next step with them. And the beauty of this, I can notice, is actually that you could, as you were saying at the beginning, you could get the solution from them now.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So, in light of confessing our sins to one another and walking in the light, how do you approach that with this approach?
Oh, we don't confuse it.
I mean, you confess sin, it's okay. What does that has to do with solution focus? If the person want to confess, all right, just confess.
Yeah.
Love you, bro, and just pray for you. So we have to know this is just a tool. I mean, there are times, okay, this handout is very important for you to go through this because this will help you to crystallize things. It helps you to understand the kind of questions. Now, this is very basic questions. As you go and practice that more and more, you will eventually come up with more questions yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll show you here the books that you can read that will really help you. You can get it. I think ebook they also have it. In America, they have it. This is Interviewing for Solutions. The author is Peter De Jong and Insoo Kim Berg. This is a very good book, Interviewing for Solutions. If you can finish this handout, after that, you get this book, read it, try to put it to practice. Practice, and practice. That will really help you. And then another one is by Insoo Kim Berg, Peter Jabo, Brief Coaching for Lasting Solutions. This is also amazing book, very simple, and that helps me to be able to coach and mentor people better.
Yeah, and I think, we shouldn't confuse this with what we do as a disciple, like prayer and confession and all that. I mean, we still do that. We still have that in small groups where all the disciples get together and have prayer time, or if they want to have quiet time together. I mean, these will not take away all of that. These are just tools for us. If we disciple people, I think for the longest time in the kingdom, sometimes as leaders, we felt responsible to help people figure out solution. Actually, that actually backfire because people will hold us responsible for the wrong advice we give them. But I think if we use this tool, they are responsible, but they know that they came up with the resources and the things that they need to do themselves. When we ask the right question, we push the responsibility on their hand. We just help them process whatever they need to think through their situation. Yeah.
And you don't need to be the expert. When we apply this to the church, the leaders feel so relieved. Because before they feel like they have to be the expert, have to come up with all the answers, but they don't need to.
Yeah.
Right? Does that answer your questions? Okay. Yes.
And I'm thinking, while we're doing this, that people will come up with their own solutions, including prayer.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, I need to read these scriptures, or like it can be incorporated that way.
Yes, and they're excited to do it because it comes from them, and they're very likely to do that themselves.
They own it.
Yeah. Okay. We don't have much time. It's amazing. 3 hours. You guys done the exercise.
We are very impressed with your enthusiasm.
Yes, okay. Hope this is helpful for you. And this is a handout. Just restudy this. Hope this is helpful for you.